Okay, today I'm going to be talking about the SH-101. If I can't get this into 10 minutes, I'll make it a two-part video, but we'll have to see. So I've got quite a few things to tell you about. First off, the machine itself. Now this is a analog from the early 80s. This is kind of a throwback to Roland's early SH series. But this one was made in plastic, and it had you could get a modulation grip, and you could actually strap it on and wear it like a guitar. But the actual controls themselves, you've got a tune for the oscillator, you've got a modulator which is an LFO with a rate. This rate also controls the rate of the internal sequencer, but more about that in a moment. You've got a triangle wave, a square wave, random and noise. I don't know if you can hear my cats crying in the background. One of them, this is not Mitzi this time. You've got, for the VCO section, you've got a modulator, which is from the LFO. This modulates the pitch. You've got a range from 16 feet up to 2 feet. Pulse width amount. And this is the assignment for the pulse width. You've got LFO, manual, or the envelope, whichever you prefer to have. And you've got the source mixer, which is the square, the saw, and the sub-oscillator. And the sub-oscillator has 3 settings. You've also got a noise. And then you've got the filter, which frequency, resonance, envelope, how much envelope, modulation, how much modulation from the LFO, and the keyboard. This is for keyboard tracking. And then you've got the VCA, and the VCA can either be controlled by the envelope or by a simple gate. Well, you've got a 2-position switch for that. And then you've got the envelope itself, which has got the gate and trigger, which is when you play the keyboard, or if you've got a trigger coming in, or just the gate alone, or the envelope can be triggered by the LFO, and of course ADSR here. Now you've got a sequencer section where you can load notes in, and you've also got an arpeggiator. You've got down, up and down and up. I mean, it's quite simple, but it's kind of nice. You've also got a hold button, so that when you press a key, you can press the hold and it will hold the key for you. Same for in the arpeggiator. And you've got key transpose. If you press that and press a key, it will transpose whatever notes it's playing. And finally, you've got the classic Roland bender section. I mean, this is very similar to a lot of other machines they have out, like the Junos and such. These 3 sliders are how much of the bender the assignment is going to be. One's for the pitch, left and right. One's for the filter, left and right, and one for sine wave modulation when you hold forward. You've got portamento. You have it switched onto auto. So if you're pressing 2 keys at once, it will slide. If you play just single notes, it won't. And on, all the notes will slide. And then you've got a transpose for the actual keyboard itself. On the back here, we've got external clock in. As I said before, the LFO rate controls the rate of the sequencer. If you're running an external clock, which I'm going to show you in a moment, this will uncouple the LFO rate to the clock. So that's kind of nice. You've got a hold for a foot pedal. You've got CV gate in and CV gate out. Now, CV gate in, obviously you can drive this from another sequencer. With the CV gate out, you can actually use this as a CV gate keyboard. So if you've got a modular, which I've got one set up here actually, which I'll show you in a moment as well, you can use this, to control your modular. Just play notes into it. You can also use the arpeggiator to output, but it only outputs the CV, the arpeggiator. It doesn't output the gate, so you have to use something else to gate that. I've also got here a 606, which I'm going to show you, which is very useful to use with the 101. They came out about the same time, and you can use instead of trying to gate from here from the arpeggiator, you can use the 606, one of the triggers on the 606, as a gate, and then you can use the arpeggiator as normal. So let's have a listen to some of the sounds off of this. When I first had it on, I just had the LFO going very, very fast. But I turn on all the modulation off, put it to gate mode, and you get a basic tone. That's a square wave. That's a saw. And that's your sub. And of course noise. Now, you can make all sorts of sounds if we set up the LFO to modulate the pulse widths of the square. And we can also have the modulation of the LFO on the frequency. Now the filter on this is quite wild, it will self-oscillate. In fact, if you turn the source mixer down, all the waveforms, you just get pure oscillation. Okay, let's have a look at the sequencer. I'll put the square wave back on. And that, to use the sequencer, it's very basic, but it's still kind of effective. You only have two controls for the sequencer. Well, two entry controls and a legato and a rest control. So if you wanted to put, say, 4 notes in, you just press load. 4 notes are loaded in, you press play. And this will be, the speed of the sequencer is controlled by the LFO clock. If you wanted to put, to have them bending, you put 1, 2, 3, 4 notes in. But for the 4th one, we'll hold the legato button. And when we play this now and switch the portamento to auto, the last note will slide. And the same if we put a rest in for the 4th note. It will rest on the last note. Now the arpeggiator is basically, you can just hold a few notes. If you press the hold button, it will stay playing. You go up and down, up and down. And then, of course, you've got the key transpose. And if we look on the bender section, VCF, pitch, and then the sine modulation.